In the shed this morning, we've got the man who's responsible for adding the popular phrases, "Don't eat my shorts" and "I caramba" in today's popular culture by creating the cartoon monolith that is the Simmies, the Simpsons. It's Matt Groening, ladies and gentlemen. What a privilege it is to have you in my shed. Now, your new show, Futurama, which I watched and loved, kicks off on Sky One tonight. Can you just tell us a little bit what it's about, people uninitiated?
Well, the way I sold it, originally I said that's the Simpsons in the future, but it really isn't the Simpsons in the future.
I was going to say,
that's how I sold it. Yeah, but it's about a guy from our time who wakes up 1,000 years from now, and how he struggles in life. And it's got ray guns and spaceships and aliens and weirdos, and it's all animated in the Simpsons style.
Who are the principal characters in the show? Take us through the ones we're going to enjoy. You've already said the kid who wakes up.
Yeah, his name is Fry. He's a loser. He's a pizza delivery boy in the year 1999. He wakes up 1,000 years from now and becomes a delivery boy in the future. We have Leela, his one-eyed, sexy babe, semi-girlfriend, captain of the spaceship. We have the professor. Of course, we have to have a mad professor. We have a Jamaican accountant named Hermes. We have a mechanic named Amy. We have a lot of characters. Dr. Zoidberg.
The same amount as the Simpsons. We're going to get to know them all throughout the series.
Well, on Simpsons there are hundreds and hundreds of characters.
Are you creating a similar
But that's
world?
just one little town of Springfield. We have a whole universe to fill.
So more characters.
More.
And
the Simpsons will still be on in 1,000 years. That's the other thing. They're a fictitious show. Yes,
plugging your show for 1,000 years' time.
Yes.
Genius, right there. Okay, question 2A. One thing I particularly liked were the suicide booths. Would you care to explain them and how you came up with the idea of a suicide booth?
Well, it's a classic science fiction idea, that you kill yourself in the future. In fact, the executives were a little troubled at first because they said, because they wanted the future to be happy and optimistic. And I said, of course it is. And they said, why are people lined up to kill themselves on New Year's Eve? And I thought, well, because the suicide booth is like a machine. It's like a phone booth, and it costs 25 cents to off yourself. You can do it either way. You can do it slow and painful or quick and painless. So you have your choice.
Exactly. You pay your money, you take your choice. Do you know what? I think we've whet their appetites enough to show them a little clip. Here it is.
Listen, buddy, I'm in a hurry here. Let's try for a twofer.
Please select mode of death, quick and painless, or slow and horrible.
Yeah, I'd like to place a collect call.
You have selected slow and horrible.
Good choice. Bring it on, baby!
Oh! I noticed that you've gone with the flesh colour rather than the traditional Simpsons yellow.
Yes, this Caucasian kind of thing, you mean, by flesh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, on The Simpsons, they were yellow-skinned. And the reason for that is that when I first created The Simpsons, there was nothing else like it on TV, and now there's all those
Hey, there still isn't.
No, the idea was that, that to make sure that people didn't confuse this with a spin-off of The Simpsons. So that's why the skin color is slightly different.
Is that bad if people confuse it with spin-offs? Does that confuse people? It's a spin-off. I don't know what to think now.
Well, I just don't want the people who work on The Simpsons to come back and say, hey, come on, pay up.
Right, okay.
So this is a new show, okay?
Financial reasons, that's fine. I won't even press you on it. Okay. Why did you decide to make Futurama at all? What was the decision for doing another one when The Simpsons are going so well and you can put all your creativity into that and more characters, more episodes?
I've been working on The Simpsons for about 10 years. I thought it was time to try something new. And what I noticed also on The Simpsons, whenever something really cool happens in animation, whenever like a car goes over a cliff and bursts into flame, all of a sudden the animation gets really good. And I thought it would be really fun to give the animators something that they really like to do. And they love drawing spaceships and ray guns. People's heads exploding.
Essentially very juvenile.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's right.
Do they make noises as they draw?
Yes, exactly.
I always hoped that was the case. Just like kids scribbling away. You created your own universe. Do you see yourself as a bit of a George Lucas or greater than him?
Yeah, well, yeah, combination.
Come on, the two of you with lightsabers,
I think
who's going to kick who?
I try to make George Lucas look like Steven Spielberg. That's
nice, an amateur.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, now I understand you co-wrote some of the early episodes of Futurama,
yes.
Which you haven't done for The Simpsons in a long while.
Right.
How do you enjoy the experience going back to doing writing? And how hard is it to
Well,
write an opening episode?
I sit in the writer's room all the time, We're all pitching jokes. On The Simpsons, there's 17 writers sitting around this big table piled with junk food. And we're eating chips and cookies and all the rest of that stuff for hours and hours, and that's how The Simpsons is created. In fact, that's how I highly recommend it for any writer.
I write in a similar way. It's nice to know
exactly.
that same technique. Do you drink beer as well?
No beer. At the end of the day.
I was
At the end
thinking
of
it's
the day.
much funnier, and then the next day it's not.
That's exactly right.
But you're howling with laughing. Some
We
little
got the one
detail.
lost episode of The Simpsons written on beer. Yeah.
And how hard is it to write a first episode as compared to other episodes? I mean, imagine you've got to balance plot with setting up the characters and making a good first impression. It must be quite a tricky thing.
It's hard. The first episode, you got to set up the characters. You got to explain yourself. You got to, yeah, that's hard. But once you get that going, then the show just takes off. And The Simpsons, we try to do over the years. We try to make it go faster and faster and faster. And on Futurama, we're starting out like high velocity all the way
Nice.
through. Yes.
Well, it certainly is. Listen, we're back in a couple of seconds to talk more about it. Meantime, though, this is Channel 4. You're watching The Big Breakfast. This is the man, the legend, Matt Groening, joining me in my shed. And it was never so glorious. Matt Groening, ladies and gentlemen!